Hello everyone and welcome back to TV Box Stop. Today I have a review of an Allwinner H616 TV box called the Omikai K1 Android 10 4K TV box. This model runs on 4GB of RAM and 32GB of internal storage, sports a cooling fan, a wireless charging pad and a well-ventilated design. So is this new design going to have an impact on the performance of the Allwinner H616, or is it going to be more of the same? To find out more, stay tuned, a full review is up next. So I'm back, and in the box you have the usual. You have the Omikai K1 TV box itself, a wireless remote and dongle, one HDMI cable, a 12 volts 3 amps DC power adapter, and a user manual. And now its design and ports. The entire body is made of plastic with a wireless charging pad to the top. To the rear you have one HDMI 2.0 port, one RJ45 Ethernet LAN port, one optical audio port and the DC power input. To the left side you have one USB 3.0 port, one USB 2.0 and the micro SD TF card reader. To the front you have the Omikai K1 logo that has a multicolor LED illumination style. Around the entire base of the box you have cooling vents, and below the box you have 4 rubber feet, and there's no need for any cooling vents since it's so well ventilated to the sides. So I'll now set this up on my TV and continue. So I'm all set, and the K1 starts with an Omikai logo animation for a couple of seconds. Then you're taken directly to the launcher with no startup wizard to complete. The launcher has an unusual design with its main buttons in a direction pad like layout, and it has a shortcuts bar here at the bottom. Its main icons can be changed, and it has a wireless charging widget and a date and time widget. It has a cleaner button for killing apps running in the background and freeing up system resources. And finally, this launcher does not have a navigation bar or a status bar of any kind. The included remote is a wireless air mouse with voice control function and backlit keys.
The President of the United States of America is Donald Trump.
Features of this firmware include 4K display up to 2160p at 60Hz, HDR display settings, HDMI CEC settings, mouse pointer settings, and audio pass-through settings. There is no root switch, hardware monitor settings, or Dolby and DTS audio settings. However, I will test for digital surround sound audio formats later in the video. In the app section, I see they have included Disney+, Netflix, Miracast receiver, and wireless updates. Please note, when I attempted to log into my Google account for the first time, there was a bug that didn't allow the login page to pop up. I finally got it to pop up when I access it through opening Chrome browser. So I will now take a moment to install some additional apps and continue. So I've installed all my apps, and let's have a look at its system and hardware information. Under system, it shows that you have 4GB of RAM, and this is the remainder of the 32GB of internal storage after the operating system and all the apps installed. Here you have the model of the main board for those interested in creating custom ROMs. The CPU, which is the Allwinner H616, is a 64-bit quad-core Cortex-A53 processor with a maximum CPU clock range of 1.5 GHz configured in 32-bit mode. Below here, it shows that it only has support for 32-bit ABIs, which limits it to 32-bit applications. Under display, it shows that its GPU is the ARM Mali G31 graphics processor with a refresh rate of 60Hz and OpenGL version 3.2, which is good for gaming. Under network, it shows that the 5 GHz band is supported. The version of Android is Android 10Q, and it shows that the box is rooted. It runs between 66 and 70 degrees, and with the internal cooling fan, we will see later in the video if it helps maintain a stable temperature or overheats as all the others. It comes with all the codecs with a playback of 4K videos, but I'm not seeing any Dolby or DTS decoders in this list. But I'll stick a pin on it and until I perform the surround sound audio test later in the video. So that's it for system and hardware information, and let's now have a look at some benchmarks. First, it's RAM and internal storage read and write speeds. It has a RAM copy speed of 2746 megabytes per second. Its internal storage has a read speed of 138 megabytes per second and a write speed of 156. So we are already seeing some low scores to start this segment. In the Wi-Fi bands and LAN speed test, I recorded some issues where on both Wi-Fi bands and on the LAN port all fell short of my maximum bandwidth by an average of 57%. These results do not augur well for this box. In the Antutu benchmark, it scored 54,842. This is a medium to low score and it will be reflected on the rankings chart. The Geekbench 4 CPU benchmark resulted in 532 single-core and 1,291 multi-core. These scores are also on the medium to low side. The final benchmark are the results of the 3D Mark Gamers Bench GPU benchmark. In this one, it scored 3,809 in the Ice Storm Extreme test and 395 in the Slingshot test. These scores are also on the medium to low side. And that's it for the benchmarks, and let's now see where it places on the chart. So the scores are in, and the Omikai K1 is at position number 31 in reference to Antutu benchmark scores, which is on the lower end of the ladder and classifies it as a budget TV box. You can view this chart on my website in a full spreadsheet format where you can check out my price comparison links as well as view the top TV boxes for 2020. See the link in the description below this video. When it comes to accessing apps, the Omikai K1 comes rooted, as you can see here in the root checker app. This box does not have a root switch, so running apps that require a box not to be rooted will not work. And I caution not to attempt to unroot it because it will either break the box or place it into a permanent boot loop that can only be fixed by flashing the firmware. Its DRM information shows that it has Google Widevine Level 3 with no HDCP protection. This means that premium streaming services such as Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, and Disney Plus will only show in basic quality, whatever resolution that is for each service. For those who have an interest in screen rotation, I'm sorry to report that this box does not have screen rotation. As indicated a while ago, this box does not have the required DRM support to show premium services such as Netflix and Amazon Prime Video in HD or 4K quality. They do, however, work, but only in basic 480p resolution. For free ways of streaming movies and TV shows, they have included an app called KD Player, which is Kodi 18.2 Leah, and it comes blank with no third-party add-ons. So I installed all my third-party add-ons without issues in one click from my backup file. The box comes pre-installed with the Android TV version of YouTube, but there's an issue with the playing of 4K videos. When I attempted to play a 4K video, I could only get 1080p. Also, the video constantly freezes. The K1 comes with a Miracast receiver app and it works without issues. Here I'm casting my cell phone and it's quick with very little latency. I will now play some 4K videos in HDR format to see if the box supports HDR display and how it handles the playback.
And only a win for Barca would be enough, because it would give them the same number of points as Atletico, but the head-to-head goal difference is what can.
So some of the 4K samples played okay, while the jellyfish video had some difficulty. But I would like you to know that all of the videos failed to play when I tried to play them in the VLC player, and the HDR icon did not trigger automatically during the playback. The box has HDR display, but you have to switch it on manually. I now play some Dolby and DTS audio video files using the VLC player.
This is Dolby Atmos, the world's first object-based cinematic audio. With powerful moving audio that transcends from channels.
Juries, executioners.
So unfortunately, this test shows that the K1 does not have Dolby or DTS surround sound audio output. I will now play some Android games to test for graphics handling, gamepad key mapping, and overheating.
Outside Baylor. Pass to Gasol. And it's out of bounds. The Raptors will take it the other way.
Man, I don't know what happened right there. He just basically walked out of bounds.
The Lakers making a switch here. Here's the Raptors with the ball. Still looking for their first basket since the first quarter. Now here is Davis for the three. And again, no good by Toronto.
Scanning. Proximity alert. Contact. Scanning. Alert.